Right, welcome to the adjectives video. We're going to be learning about some different things today. There are a few different things. What are adjectives? Why do I need to know about adjectives? What are the types of adjectives? And how do I find them in a text? All of these things are helpfully covered in this little video. Now, before you go on, there are 3 houses there. Which house are you going to describe? I'd like you to choose one, and through your descriptions alone, I'm going to pick which one you're describing. So you will need to write it down. You will need to hand it in. Press pause, finish that, and then keep going. We've really enjoyed reading The Return of the Word Spy in class. So here's some more information about what are adjectives. Adjectives. A noun all by itself is a lonely thing. It doesn't really tell us much. To enjoy the noun, you have to put a few other players in. Adjectives are generally found near nouns. The word adjectives comes from a Latin word which means to have been thrown at. So an adjective is something you throw at a noun. Quick, noun, duck! It's great throwing adjective at nouns. They make your nouns so much more interesting. For example, if I said, the girl has hair, you might think, oh. But if I threw an adjective at it and I said, the girl has green hair, you might think, oh. You can throw more than one adjective at a noun, as many as you like. They can be pretty useful, like when my Uncle Orkle asked me, would you like some slippery noodles? I was just about to say yes when he helpfully threw in a few more adjectives. Would you like some slippery, disgusting, rotten, old, slimy noodles? Actually, no thanks, Uncle Orkle. So why do I need to know about adjectives? A very good question. There are many good answers. They are the chief way to make images in your writing. You need to express the ideas in your head and create images in your audience's head, and you do this through having adjectives. You might have to persuade someone of your point of view. I know that you have been doing persuasive texts, and your adjectives will very clearly give your point of view and help persuade. An advertiser might say that their product is beautiful and gorgeous, and a journalist might say that the dictator is evil and despotic. So using adjectives will really help give your point of view and persuade others. And the last one that I wanted to talk about is when you compare things. You might say, I am taller than you, or my brother is shorter than I am. There are different ways to compare. Adjectives are the way to do it. All right, let's go for the types of adjectives. The first type of adjective I wanted to show to you is the descriptive adjectives. They give colour, shape, size, texture and feeling to nouns. For example, the long, dusty road. Descriptive adjectives are the basic ones, the ones everyone talks about. And these are very useful. However, there are more types. Now, verbal adjectives are where you add ing or ed to a verb and it makes the verb into an adjective. For example, falling rocks or a walking stick. It's not a stick that walks, it's a stick that helps you walk. But there are many others where you add ing or ed, a puzzled face. All of these things turn a puzzle, which is something you do, into a describing word, a puzzled face. Here's some more types of adjectives. When you think about the numbers of things, you're describing them. So you might need to use your number adjectives to give the quantities of nouns. For example, 9 geese. Yes, there are 9 there. Or the second runner. There she is in her red singlet. The number 9 and the word second are both the number adjectives in these words. Underneath we have the indefinite adjectives. Now these are also about quantity, They only show an uncertain quantity. We're not sure how many children are here, so we say some children. And we're not sure exactly how many coins are in my pocket, so we say I've got a few coins in my pocket. So these are indefinite. We're not sure, but they describe the number of things. All right. Finally, we've got adjectives of degree. And they describe nouns by comparing them. Here we have a rope. Now, is it the long rope, the longer rope, or the longest rope? There we are. You get to carefully choose which adjective to describe. Here we have a beautiful rose. My neighbour comes up and says he has a more beautiful rose. And the Botanic Gardens walk over and say, our roses are the most beautiful. How would you make an adjective of degree out of tall? We've got tall, and then we've got, that's right, taller, and yes, tallest. Well done. Some words like don't use that suffix. The suffix is that end part that you add to make them show degree. You might think about good. You don't say gooder and goodest. What do you call it? That's right. You say good, the better, and best. Oh, you're the best. Right? And it's not bad. It's worse. Sorry, not badder and baddest. It's worse and worst. So just be careful when you're using your adjectives of degree that you are careful not always to use the suffix. Keeps things interesting. Antonyms and opposites are probably the first adjectives you learn as a kid. What opposites can you describe here? Let's have a look. What did you get? Yes, I see you watching the Star Wars guys. Are you laughing at that kid like me? Well, I got black and white, describing words that are opposites. Go and stop. What did you have? Green and red. We've got full and empty. We've got hot and cold. She's actually freezing. And my favourite is a sad, mad little kid and a very happy little girl. So these are your antonyms and opposites, and they're very useful when you're persuading someone or just describing things. All right, time to see if we can find some adjectives in this passage. To do that, we first need to find our nouns. All right, so I'm going to put the nouns in red. We're looking for people, places, things, and events. Right, it was the last day of summer. That's an event. I wonder if I should have a capital, I'm not sure. And I was at Cronulla Beach. Place, proper noun. The sticky children, their people, licked their sandy ice cream cones. That's the thing I'm touching. While black-coated surfers, people, rode the turquoise waves. That's a thing. Right, now we need to look for the adjectives that describe those nouns. Right, it was the last day of summer. Now I wonder if that describes the summer. That could be like an adjectival phrase or something. We'll learn more about that later. And I was at Cronulla Beach. There's nothing there to describe Cronulla Beach. I wonder if you could think of something at beautiful Cronulla Beach, perhaps. The sticky children, so sticky is describing the children, licked their sandy ice cream cones, both describing the cones, while black-coated surfers, so they're in their rashies and wetsuits, rode the turquoise waves. So I hope this helps you find adjectives in a sentence. It's always helpful to find your nouns first. All right, 3 activities for you to do for me. The first one, I would like you to make a collection of on a brown paper bag. You need to write a list kind of like this. So it says something fuzzy, and that's using an adjective. It says something straight, something round, something smooth, something rough. I want you to think of 10 somethings, 10 things, write it on a brown paper bag and swap with someone in your class. And then they have to find those things. When you've found 10 things each, I want you to sit down and talk about why each of those things is described that way. And I wonder if your friend chose things that you thought they would choose. Or did they think about things in a different way? That's the interesting thing about adjectives. The next thing I'd like for you to do for me is with your novel that you're reading, could you please look at the first page of the chapter you're on or the first page of the book, and I want you to find all the nouns for me. Now, that will help you to find the adjectives, which is the real point of it all. So use the two different colours and tell me what they are. One for nouns and one for adjectives. And if you're very clever, you might even do a few little arrows to show which nouns the adjectives are describing. Now you would probably need to take a photo of that and do it on some tools online, or you would need to take a photocopy of it and do it with your actual highlighters and pens. I'd appreciate having a look at that. That would be excellent. And the last thing I would like you to please do is look at the real estate section on an online newspaper or a real newspaper and see if you can find 10 adjectives for me on one of their rental ads or selling house ads. So in this one here, we've got a perfect family home set in peaceful cul-de-sac, bordering parkland with a child's playground. This lovely family home is in the most sought-after little pocket of Birkdale, blah, blah, blah. So I've already got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and it, in that, it's just a matter of finding the real estate section. Again, you might need to print something out for me or take a screenshot and edit it with some software that you have. I'd love to see it. That would be great. I hope that you've learnt lots about adjectives from this video.